I'm Emma.
I'm Evie.
And I'm Adam. With all the excitement building for season 35, the Tar Pit crew would like to bring you a series of exclusive interviews to meet some of the teams before the season premiere on September 27th.
Morgan and Lena from New York and LA are the only sister team on this season of The Amazing Race. They were really awesome to talk to. Here they are.
Hi, my name is Lena Franklin. I'm 29 years old, originally from Boca Raton, Florida, but now I live in another sunny place, Los Angeles, California. I'm a music executive. I do marketing. So my daily day, it changes all the time, but I'm pretty much in flow and moving parallel to the artists that I work with. So I have a roster of artists that, sometimes people will know them, sometimes they won't. But I have roster artists that I work with, and I do everything from getting their songs out the door to making music videos with them. All the cool things that you would normally see an executive doing is my life as a music executive. So I'm all over LA every single day.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Morgan Franklin. I'm also from South Florida. I'm 2 years older than Lena, so I'm the big sister. I currently live in Brooklyn, New York. And I'm a marketing executive for one of the biggest consumer packaged goods companies in the world. So in my world, I don't get to work with artists every day, but I help some of our big brands get onto the shelves and onto the TV screens and phones of people around the world. So my day really consists of talking to my teams around the world and helping them prepare to do what they do best. So a lot of talking on the phone, a lot of traveling around the world, which is really cool. Spend time in Brazil and London and India, different places. But just a lot of talking. That's what I spend my time doing, talking and problem solving.
That sounds really fun. This is Evie. And do you guys have a team name?
Yo, Evie, that's a great question. A lot of the teams had team names and it just came naturally to them. We didn't really have a team name. First, we wanted to be the Marketing Magicians. There was no marketing names that kind of matched us and sounded cool. So we had to wait for all the other teams to make us a name. So our understanding is that we're the Blue Sisters, but we won't really know what people called us until the show starts.
Evie, I think we're going to be called the Sisters because we're the only sisters competing this season.
That makes sense.
We wish we had a cooler name, though, to be honest.
And we thought maybe people would bully us and give us a cooler name, but we were pretty nice contestants, so we got a pretty neutral team name.
I like your name.
Thank you.
This is Emma. What have been some of your favorite types of challenges to watch on past season?
Oh, that's a good question.
I really like the things that are puzzles, but, post the show, I don't know how much I like puzzles. I think it's really cool to see teams that fly through puzzle challenges that really it's all about what you're seeing with your eyes and then putting it together really quickly. Because I feel like as long as you stay cool, calm, and collected, you can finish those tasks in 30 minutes, at max, sometimes 5. But I take all of that back.
I love the cooking challenges. They don't happen often, but I really love it when the teams get to go to these different places and really immerse themselves in cooking the cuisine, the local cuisine.
I like it when they do puzzle challenges too.
I do too. But, Evie, I can tell you this. Watching it on the TV and doing it in real life are two different things.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
So outside of The Amazing Race, what are some of your favorite TV shows that you guys like to watch?
Oh, The Amazing Race. The Amazing Race is one of my favorite shows of all times is actually Lost. It's from the early 2000s. And I rewatched all the seasons in college. That might be one of my favorite TVs. And Gossip Girls. Gossip Girls is probably the most incredible TV show that was ever made in the history of scripted television. And then The Amazing Race is the greatest TV show made in the history of unscripted television. But yeah, Lost and Gossip Girls are my top two favorite TV shows ever.
I like those. I'm a big Top Chef and Beat Bobby Flay girl. So I like watching some of the cooking competition shows. Those are really cool. And then I like watching the nature documentaries on Netflix. They've been really awesome lately.
Morgan and I's favorite TV show to watch is Chopped. We
Yes.
watched a lot of that together as a collective team. So we were really ready to take on a cooking challenge and hoping that other teams did not know how to cook.
This is Evie. Are there any sibling teams that you feel like you had a special connection with?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, for sure. Morgan, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah. So John and Greg, fun fact, their last names are also Franklin.
Yeah,
Our
I
last
noticed
names are
that.
Franklin. So we figured that out a little bit into the race that both of our last names are Franklin, but they were some of our best friends while we were racing. They really supported us, and I think they were able to support us as friends during challenges more than we could support them. But they became two of our closest friends on the race for sure.
John and Greg also embodied the same spirit as us while we were racing. Like, our goal as racers was to continue to be like kind people, no matter what the situation is. And we really felt like Greg and John moved the same way that we did. So it was really easy for us to find common ground with them. And just to laugh, like Morgan said, we got through a lot of the race before we even realized that we had the same last name, because you don't talk a lot about outside life on the race. You're really just focused on the task at hand. And I think one of them just mentioned that their last name was Franklin. And we were like, oh, wow, our last name is Franklin. And we were like, oh, it's the Franklin brothers competing against the Franklin sisters. Who would have thought?
Yeah, that's crazy that you guys have the same last name.
Yeah, and I don't think they wanted us to know that we had shared last names, because they didn't want us to referring to each other as the Franklin brothers and Franklin sisters.
That would be crazy. So
Yeah.
what did you guys get out of this experience? Like, did you learn more about your sister at all?
Emma, you're the older sister, right?
Yeah.
So, as a big sister, you have certain responsibilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Evie, as your little sister, Evie, I'm sure you look up to Emma for, how awesome she is.
Well, she
And
is
I think,
awesome.
I bet she is. And so Lena and I, we're only 2 years apart, and we haven't lived near each other in 14 years or 13 years. So for us, we weren't always the nicest of sisters to each other. We love each other, but we used to fight a lot. So the big reason for us going on the show together was to have time together and to really work on our friendship and try to become, like, we're great sisters, but try to become better friends and really build our friendship. And I think we both believe that working together towards a shared goal would be really great for us. And I think it was great for us. We spent a lot of days together. We worked as a team in really beautiful ways. Like, I'm Lena's biggest supporter and she's my biggest supporter. And I think you're going to see that come through on the show. And I think we were super proud of how much love and respect we gave to each other throughout the race. And I think that we are better sisters and friends because of it.
This is Evie. Will you guys come back after your last episode airs to talk more about season 35?
Oh my gosh, Evie, Emma, Adam, of course we will. I think after you watch the show, you'll get a better idea of what we are like as racers and some of the decisions that we had to make. And every single decision on the race is so hard. And it would be great to come back on the podcast and talk about what those experiences were really like for us in real life, as opposed to just what you were seeing on the show.
Just spill the beans to us.
I also really liked I liked Morgan's response. Who's the little sister? Which one is the little sister?
Evie.
Evie. So I'm the little sister, and my main goal is search and annoy. That's like,
Yes, I like annoying my sister too.
Exactly. Like it's like a robot. I wake up in the morning, I search and annoy. And then when I became an adult, I never stopped searching and annoying. So Morgan and I really needed to go on the show to get a new experience, to have a new way to like build our friendship. I recommend search and annoy until you get to the teenage stage. Then you've got to figure out how to be your sister's best friend. And it's so important. And that was what we talked about the most in the casting process was, wanting to grow out of, acting like probably kids in adult life. So we got this amazing opportunity to travel around the world and to sort out our problems one way or another by finishing random tasks in random countries.
But Emma and Evie, I hope that as you watch us every week, that you are both very proud of us and look up to us as a sister team, because I'm sure you've seen sister teams are either really awesome or really, really painful, right? And you say, like, I would never be like them. So I hope that when you watch us, that you're going to say, wow, we hope that we race like them one day. So you guys be the judge of how we race and let us know when we talk after you watch.
So this is Emma. After the show airs, you guys are going to make some fans. So how can they keep up with you? Do you have any social media or any projects that you're working on that you want people to know about?
Yeah, me and Morgan both have our own socials. So mine is at the Lena and Justine, and then I might have a TikTok by the time the show airs. Not sure yet. And then Morgan also has an Instagram, which is Morgan Alexa Rose, and so we'll be doing some joint posts together. But if you want to follow us, you can just follow either of our socials or follow both of us together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice. Well,
Thanks,
thank you guys.
girls.
We really appreciate it. I am going to play Morgan's words on a loop for the next year. Thank you for telling them to get along and be inspired by you guys on the race. I really appreciate it. That will come in very handy in certain moments.
Uh-oh.
You don't want to have to go on the race to solve your problems. You want to go on the race to race.
Just be awesome.
No, we're excited to see it. And I think you're right.
Adam,
you have this sort of...
It's very telling. It's very telling when you watch sisters compete, right? And I think
You can tell
the
that
more
they
that
annoy
you
each
watch
other.
the show, but I think the more that you watch the show and you really see sisters' relationships, it makes you look at your own relationship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you see sisters that really aren't loving and supporting each other, you really don't want to be like them. And I think part of us watching the show together was really identifying how sisters competed and which sisters competed the best, right?
Right.
So be kind, give lots of love to each other and have fun together, because there's no reason to not treat each other with love and respect and fun all the time, you know?
Yeah.
That's really interesting to hear too, because we recently spoke with the Heichel brothers.
Yeah.
And they also came back from the experience almost in a very therapeutic way and feeling like it just really took their relationship to another level.
Yeah.
You gain a new sense of respect for your sibling, because you see them in ways that you may not have seen them before, even though you may have spent 8 years together or, known each other I've known Lena since she was born, 29 years. There's things about her that I learned about her grit and her speed and her creativity that I just didn't know until we were on the race together. So it's a very cool experience. It's something very cool to experience with your sibling.
I think just like Morgan was talking about a little earlier, that our dynamic is definitely a part of the reason why we got casted on the show. We have no idea why the other sibling teams got casted. Like we're just learning what the other teams were trying to work on by coming on the show too. So it's very cool to see people's relationships in real time as we're racing in comparison to their introduction videos and the videos about why they wanted to race around the world with their partner.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Lena, maybe you went on the race for one of the reasons, maybe just to annoy Morgan.
You know, you would almost be right. One of my biggest dreams in life is to have Morgan put her phone away and focus on just me for an entire month.
Yeah.
Yes, as a sibling, that was absolutely my dream come true. It was so much fun to share this experience with no one but my sister. And me and Morgan did everything growing up. Like we wore the same clothes, we did the same sports. And as we became an adult, we don't get to do all those things anymore. And we live across the country. So it was awesome to be stuck with my sister for a few weeks.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thanks for taking time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, girls. Thank you, Adam. It was great to meet y'all.
Thank you, girls. This is an incredible idea, from the both of you. And we're so happy that you guys are getting to talk to the racers before we race. And we're so excited to come back on the show in a few weeks.
Thank you.
Well, sis, what did you think of these sisters?
I really liked them, and I connected with their little sister, big sister vibe. Bye, everyone.